We need artists. They supply our raw culture. But even in money terms, they're valuable. New Industry Minister Anthony Roberts says the arts employ 184,000 people, more than agriculture, forestry, fishing, and mining combined. And the arts generates exports worth $2.2 billion a year. So we've heard it from the inside, but a lot of people say, you know, artists don't do things that are practical or useful. But that's only people who can't see ahead or the big picture. Now, I'd just like to introduce you now to Cecilia Castro, who's our second speaker. And Cecilia is a Chilean-born Australian sculptural ceramic artist. So, you may have heard that there is a plan to move Sydney College of the Arts to Sydney University. Well, the facilities there are going to be in trouble for 3 departments. And that's why I was thinking of wonderful artists like Cecilia and Jenny Orchard, whose work is out there tonight. Because glass, jewellery and ceramics are under threat in Australia. Lindy Lee has also spoken at rallies at Sydney College of the Arts about this problem. Lindy's work is also here tonight. She offers her full support. Lindy is still in China. So Cecilia explores alternative ways of working with traditional ceramic methods and materials to explore current social issues affecting the largest indigenous group in Chile, known as the Mapuche. She has been studying for a Masters of Fine Arts at Sydney College of the Arts and was deeply involved in the recent Let's Scar Stay at the wonderful Kirkbride, where the facilities for these areas are just great. Okay, Cecilia, you want to come now?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cecilia Castro, and I'm a current student at Sydney College of the Arts, and I'm trying to finish my Masters of Fine Arts. I have been involved in the battle to save SCA for quite some time now, and it has taken me away from my studies and my work and my family. But we're trying to save our degrees, our teachers' jobs, and with the help of the community, we're trying to keep SCA, Sydney College of the Arts, at the historical sandstone Kirkbride in the beautiful grounds at Cowan Park. In the beginning of this struggle, University of Sydney tried to shove Sydney College of the Arts into the University of New South Wales, but that failed. Then they announced their drastic move to try to move Sydney College of the Arts into their main campus and to cut 60% of the staff, and no ceramics, no jewelry, and no glass studios. I'm a ceramic artist. What am I supposed to do? This caused me a great deal of stress, because if I don't have a studio to finish my work, how am I supposed to finish my degree? And if they cut 60% of the jobs, is my supervisor, who is a ceramic artist, is she going to be there to assist me in finishing my research? This caused me a great deal of stress. And so then Sydney Uni said they were not going to enroll any new people this year in the Bachelor of Visual Arts and the Masters and PhD degrees. Sydney Uni claims that SCA indebted the university $5 million every year and proceeded to spend $5 million on new furniture in one go for the new business school, and $2.3 billion on 3 new buildings on main campus, with not one of them being for Sydney College of the Arts. We, the students, got together and rallied, had meetings, and then we had the visual at the New South Wales Art Gallery, and everybody took notice of the red capes. It went viral. Then we got really serious, and some people called it radical. And we occupied the SCA administration building, including the Dean's office, at Highland Park for 65 days. This is the longest occupation against a university management in Australia in history. And we made it happen. We had so much support from the media, and then the Maritime Union of Australia came to support us on a terrible cold and rainy day. Then all the other unions came along as well. Unions New South Wales, the Public Sector Association, the National Tertiary Education Union, the Construction, Forestry, Mining and Energy Union, and they gave us money, and with that money we bought materials, paid for advertising, got food while we were in the occupation, and then we ran out of money. Lots of galleries also came to our support. Ben Quilty, a very famous Australian artist, did support us in the beginning. And then the National Art School was also under threat, and we also went to talk to them. Without our occupation, throughout the occupation, we won the resignation of the Dean, Colin Rhodes, who ran down Sydney College of the Arts and did this behind the students and the teachers' back. So nobody knew that he was running it down. Students are mounting legal challenges. One international student from the USA, Tim, quit his job in the USA, sold his house, and came to Australia, paying an astronomical amount of money to study at SCA, and then 6 months later, he was told that there was going to be no more degree for him. University of Sydney is proposing to move SCA to the Old Teachers College levels 1 and 2 at main campus. But I ask you, how are they going to fit 600 students in 2 levels at the Old Teachers College? They can't, because their intentions are to decimate Sydney College of the Arts and to dilute it into nothing until there is no Sydney College of the Arts identity left. They have backed down on 60% of the staff cuts, and they are proposing to decimate the jobs of only 40% of our staff and the courses, and of the courses. And this is totally unacceptable. This is part of a broader strategy plan from Michael Spence, the richest Vice-Chancellor in Australia, paid $1.5 million a year, and he's chauffeured, driven to and from work every day.
And given the Order of Australia for the Anglican Church.
Well, they wanted to move us out of Highland Park because it's the green jewel of the inner west, and developers want their hands on it. The New South Wales Blair government changed the Crown Land Act to make it easier to demolish parklands, and it's certainly a medium to long-term strategy to get high-rise million-dollar apartments into Cullen Park.
Sure.
Well, the Let SCA Stay campaign is not going away. We had actions over the summer. I wasn't in there with the topless. And we have actions coming up this Saturday at the Laneway Festival, and we will take action on all week. But you might be asking yourself, why did I join the Let SCA Stay campaign? So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story. I started at SCA as an undergraduate in 2011 because I did not have an education. I came from a country where education, and art education in particular, is for the privileged few. I'm not one of those people. And that's why we came to Australia, so we could get an education in this lucky country that we now call Australia. Back then, I didn't have the language skills needed to be a good student when I did my HSC, so I couldn't go to uni. I wanted an education, and I wanted an education in art. I'm passionate about being a practicing artist. I love what I do. I love SCA. I actually always wanted to live at SCA, so when the occupation happened, it was a dream come true. But then, while we're in the occupation, somebody asked me, why did you want to live at SCA? And I said, well, now I actually want to die here. Ceramics is important to my practice because all of my artworks talk about the Mapuche people of Chile. Mapuche, not to be confused with Machu Picchu, a place in Peru. The Mapuche territory is in the south of Chile. The Mapuche are the largest indigenous group of people in Chile. And while I went to Chile on my first student exchange through Sydney University, I discovered that my great-grandfather was half Mapuche. This was a family history, and it causes my mother and a lot of Chilean people shame. And it's hidden in many families. The word Mapuche are two words. Mapu means land, and Che means people. It is the belief of the Mapuche people that they come from the land itself. A friend asked me, if there was no clay in the world, what material would you use to make your artworks? All my artworks are mainly made out of clay. Clay is a material that comes from the earth. This is why I feel so strongly about working with clay, because in a way, I'm making myself become a Mapuche. I'm trying in a small way to get back the right to be a Mapuche, which was taken from me, from the silencing of this family history because of colonization and the discrimination of the Mapuche people and my ancestors. In the Mapuche culture, the women are the ones that work with the clay. They not only make domestic ware, but they also make ceremonial vessels which are given to women at different stages of their lives. For example, when a girl first gets her menstrual cycle, or when the woman becomes pregnant, they're given a ceremonial vessel. My artworks are a means to show the richness of the Mapuche culture and stopping the small traces of the Mapuche culture left in my mother and allowing those to disappear forever. It is important for me to rescue the Mapuche culture in our family and to leave a strong history for my daughter and her children so they don't grow up having no history, like me. And for them to know that the Mapuche culture is a source of pride and not shame. So I ask you now, how can I not work with ceramics? Ceramics at SCA has been very good to me. In the ceramics studio, we work in a community. We cannot exist in isolation. We only have 3 staff. 2 of them work full-time, which is my supervisor and the technician, and we have another teacher who works part-time. So it's not much. We need the assistance of Kambora, our technician, to help us load the kilns with pack all the materials that we need, and with his and with giving his technical knowledge so we can learn. My supervisor and mentor, Jan Guy, is a wealth of ceramic knowledge, which she unconditionally and generously shares her knowledge with me as she guides me in my research. Our ceramic facilities are outstanding. The glaze room, where I spend a lot of my time testing different glazes, is full of materials ready to be used. This was not the same when I went on exchange at the host university in my first exchange. They did not have extractors or glaze room for making or testing glazes, or the facilities to use electric or gas kilns. Ceramics was an elective given to fill in the time for engineers and business students so they could de-stress. Our ceramic studios at Sydney College of the Arts are OHS focused and provide the students the facilities to learn and become fully professional artists once we leave SCA. For all these reasons I have given you, I will continue to fight for Sydney College of the Arts and ceramics to stay at Callan Park and to save the jobs of our dedicated teachers and technical staff. But I want to leave you with 2 questions. How can University of Sydney claim to be the best university if they are running their facilities and their faculties with the smell of an oil rag, and their staff are treated like slaves? Let SCA stay. Thank you.
So, Journelle de la Foret works in a photography duo with a friend, Jessie's name is, I think. Forgive me, yes. Wonderful, wonderful photography. She left a professional career in South Africa to try and find the best place to study art in the world. And she chose Sydney College of the Arts. So you can see some of her work, and it's the work of the duo out there tonight. But Journelle was very, or we call her Juju, right? That's what I've learned to call her. She was very upset that she couldn't be here tonight. So she gave an absolutely breathtaking speech to a very young girl, it seems. Early 20s, perhaps? Oh my God, like myself. So I would like to play you 3.5 minutes from that, because she was telling the story of her art school and the action that actually changed a very, very poor future. It was all turned around by the action of the students. This must have been very encouraging to everyone who was there at the occupation. I think that wasn't the day I visited you, but it was, yeah, it was a great excuse to get back again for a while and live and hopefully not die at Sydney College of the Arts. But let's listen to what Joanelle says at the end, because it's generic, and what she's saying largely is why we don't study art, what art isn't about, okay? So, why we do. So I'll just get that little film clip open. Noel, if you bring the computer.
Yes, we are here today to say Sydney College of the Arts, but we are also here for every other faculty at this university, because if they can do it to us, they can do it to you. An injury to one is an injury to all. The poet Company argued that the European school, like the factory and the prison, was developed as an instrument of discipline. It aimed to prepare the student for labour and to accept a subordinate place in society. This agenda is becoming resigningly clear when universities conduct diverse degree offerings in favour of profit. This campus is not an assembly line. We cannot allow a society where universities can destroy knowledge, destroy access to education. We cannot allow a society where academics, intellectuals, writers and artists revoke their calling to speak truth to power, to give voice to social criticism, to instead function as echo chambers for the elite. In his book, Empire of Illusion, Chris Hedges writes, "For Socrates, all virtues were forms of knowledge. To train someone to manage an account for Goldman Sachs is to educate him or her in skill. To train them to debate Stoic, existential, theological, and humanist ways of grappling with reality is to educate them in values and morals. We bought into the idea that education is about training and success, defined monetarily, rather than learning to think critically and to challenge. We should not forget that the true purpose of education is to make minds, not careers. A culture that does not grasp the vital interplay between morality and power, which mistakes management techniques for wisdom, which fails to understand that the measure of a civilization is its compassion, not its speed or ability to consume, condemns itself to death." Art is under attack. Education is under attack. And unless we physically defy this act of destruction, we are complicit. Those who resist keep hope alive. Those who give in to fear or apathy become allies of this destruction. A sentiment that has been repeated throughout this campaign, and one I'd like to reiterate today, is this: in the face of modern conditions, to study art, to be an artist, is an act of open defiance. We're at a critical point in history, not just here in Australia and fighting for our art school, for our education. Our local fights for justice are only one small part in a global struggle against the neoliberal onslaught on our planet and our civil liberties. It doesn't take much investigation to confirm that our causes are interconnected. With the dire condition of people and of the planet, the stakes are high and they are rising along with the temperatures. Opportunities for liberation are emerging neck and neck with opportunities for totalitarianism. We are at a stage where the quality of our organising and movement building is critical. The opposition is constantly refining and improving. Our success demands excellence. It is not enough for us to simply try, as Mao once warned, we have to dare to win. The university has grossly underestimated the acute minds and bold hearts that have united behind this campaign, and we will bring this bloated, arrogant executive to its